finally back. What's up? What's up? I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. I know I say that all the time, and I'm so sorry for saying it. I've been working on this tirelessly 4 months. Okay, so what is it? It's a Marshall Major. What year? Nobody's sure. They think it's a transitional year between 68 and 69, but nobody knows. Greatest thing I ever heard in my life. JMP1, I love, everybody knows that. I've been out at a bunch of gigs and the guys were like, dude, do videos on that amp, do videos on that amp. Okay, here's the video. It's a 68, 69 Marshall Major with major mods. Get it? Major mods. It's got a lot of mods. It has a Dumble effects loop, which gives it that. Let me be alone with my second. Okay, so I wanted an amplifier all my life that kind of sounded like a Dumble. Unless you got $100 grand, you're not going to get a Dumble or whatever it is now. But I wanted something that sounded kind of Dumble-y, and I wanted something that sounded like a Marshall. 70s Marshall, mid 70s, 80s kind of. I love the 80s tone. So I'm on the clean channel of this pedal here. It's a English muffin with a couple of nice tubes in it. Kind of Dumble-y, huh? That other pedal through here, it's not quite a bedroom volume. It's a lot louder because I've got that tone bone plexi tube cranked up. But So let me tell you a little bit of history about this amp because everybody's been wanting to know that's seen this amplifier out. It is a 68.9 Marshall Major, heavily modded Dumble flex loop. I'm rambling because I don't remember what all I said here. It is got a master volume, and the most important thing is, and this was a happy accident, I've been looking for this tone for say 10 years, at least 10, 20 years, God knows how long. But the true tone search was really probably almost 10 years, and I finally achieved it. And I will never part with this amp. I knew this amp right after I got it I would never part with because it's just, to me, everything I ever wanted in a tone. My kid will get it or they'll be buried with me. And now I have two of these and a third kind of a parts chassis that I will build online. I hate to say this year and not get to it this year, but I'm going to really try. And most of the parts that we rebuilt this thing with, because we had a bag of parts when we were done, tube sockets and you name it. I'll show you on the bench if you'd like to see it. But the work that was extensive in this thing, and I didn't go with NOS parts, and I'll tell you why. Because I want to reproduce the sound, and the way to do that is to use newer production parts. So there is a lot of NOS parts obviously still left in the amp, but very few. And we're gonna build this amp from scratch, and so we should be able to get these tones out of it. So let me tell you what I got here, not to bore you. I have a couple of pedals that I use in front of it as a clean amp, and the happy accident was we locked the tone stack out of it one night. One of the wires came loose in the tone stack and locked the tone stack out. And when I fixed it, I didn't like it. I was like, man, the headroom's all gone. I gained all this headroom, and being this is an ultralinear amp, it really made a huge difference. So I now have the tone stack on the bass knob here in a switch. So if I switch the excuse me, that's the presence knob. If I switch the bass knob, you can hear it. Listen. Once I switch that past all the way closed here, the tone stack comes back alive, and you can use the tone stack like a regular Marshall Major. And no real mods to the major tone stack have really been made. Values were never changed. But it doesn't matter because I'm not using the tone stack. But to me, it is the amp of my dreams. It did everything I ever wanted it to. I could always get an amplifier to sound really good, but then the bottom end wasn't there, like in an Engel or a Diesel or whatever. And then I could get the bottom end, but then the middle was all milky and nasty sounding, or it was real shrill on the high end. So I just never was able to get there with one amp. Carrying 2 amps around with me, and at one point in my life I was carrying around 4 amps with me. It was just stupid. I finally went to a JMP1 many years ago, and it was very close, and I could trick kind of that amp setup with the power amp and the JMP1 into this really great crunch sound that I get out of this thing. That really beautiful kind of tweaking I got to do with this thing yet. The way I'm running it is like this. I run the pedals into the front of it. Again, no tone stack. And then I have a Dumble effects loop that I run all these effects behind me except for the TC Electronics G Major. I find that thing to be, sorry TC, but it's a tone robber. And I don't like that. And so I have an old, Lisa's Quadraverb and Rocktron and Teleflex, my two favorite pieces of gear. My 2 favorite pieces of gear in the whole world. And then I've got a sonic maximizer to really clean things up. And that's what gets me the middle sound. I can turn the EQ up. And I like the digital EQ long past I like that tone stack. The tone stack squashes the sound to me. And now that I know that, I've disconnected the tone stack in a couple other amps, and I really like it. So it's kind of a weird thing. And for you guys that don't know, this is an ultralinear amp. It's a completely different style. Now there were some Fenders that were ultralinear, and there's some other amps out there ultralinear. When you play an ultralinear amp, for me, there was no going back. I didn't really like anything after that. I really love this amp. And there's a growing group of guys out there on the internet that are starting to realize that these are a deal. It's a 160 watt amp or 200 watt amp, depending on who you ask. I'm going to have it measured to find out. But it's got 4 KT88s in it and 3 preamp tubes, V1, V2, and a phase inverter. And then we put another tube in it for the effects loop, for the Dumble effects loop. And that's why before we did that, it did not sound as good. And I've got to give a great shout out to the guys at Red Plate Amps. Man, these guys, Henry and Keith over there, are the bomb. These guys I drove them nuts with this amp. And so to all you guys out there that are wondering where the hell I've been, this is where I've been literally every minute away from work or whatever. This is what I've been doing. So sorry I haven't posted more videos, and I will promise you this, I will post more videos this year. So if you like this video, please subscribe to it, and I will post more videos this year, and I will go more in depth on this amplifier, because what we're going to do is, now that I've got this one exactly where it is, I know what this amp is. Believe me, I know what's on the inside of this amp. And we're going to double it. I have another one on the bench over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to rebuild that one even better than this one. And I say better meaning do a much cleaner job. This was kind of the prototype, if you want to call it that. And that one over there, what we're going to do is we're going to tear it down and rebuild it, and I'll do kind of a tutorial on it as we go along here in rebuilding that. Again, let me say this. If you don't know about tube amplifiers, man, you can kill yourself. Do it at your own risk. Do not work on tube amplifiers if you don't know what you're doing. You can literally kill yourself. There's a couple videos online, and I didn't know how serious it was until the first time I got shocked really bad, and it sucked. So don't do it if you don't know what you're doing. And I've been messing around with them for years now, and you got to be careful. So just don't do it. Leave it to somebody unless you know what you're doing and know how to drain the caps and all that stuff. So, okay, that's me bitching like an old man now. So, but absolutely love this amplifier, and I'll do a little playing here. And remember to help a kid, help somebody. If I've left something out about this amp, I apologize. Best thing I've ever heard, ever. Killer bottom end. You have to turn the bottom end down because it just is literally thunderous, like nothing I've ever heard before. Engel, Diesel, you name it, nothing. That frame is Cobra, doesn't matter. And the center stays nice and clean, and the highs are just articulate and beautiful. So to me, this is it. I still play my JMP1 once in a while, but in comparison, it's like playing a child's amp now compared to this thing. And I just love it. So I don't know if there's much more I can say about it. But the sound that comes out of this thing, even with these pedals in front of it, and that's what's so great about the amp. You can put any pedal you want through it. So if you're going to go play a bluesy gig, you can put blues pedals. I've got an Ethos overdrive pedal here, and some other really killer little blues pedals. And if you're going to play like an 80s rock deal, or if you're playing everything, you can put 4 or 5 pedals in line. I run the pedals straight into the front, and then I run out of that Dumble effects loop, I run it through these effects into the power amp, obviously, of this thing, and I run those 3 pieces right there, the Sonic Maximizer, Elisa's Quadriverb, and the Rocktron IntelliFlex. And I'll probably at some time either build another pedal board online, or I may, guys, go to an Axe Effects just for my time-based delays, because, man, those guys really got that down. But as far as in the room feeling, I don't know if you'll ever get rid of tubes. I wish we could, but I just don't know that we ever will. So anyways, this is the Marshall Major. Go out tomorrow and help a kid. Give a kid an instrument. Give him a guitar lesson. Do something for somebody. Help somebody, man. I'm You Rock, because you rock. Good night.